It's Christmas! Yes, Christmas. Here at Gare Bear Stare, we love Christmas. The decorations, the music, the atmosphere, and, of course, I love me some holiday shows and movies. There are some great holiday movies and some fantastic holiday episodes of our favorite shows that I always dust off and throw on this time of year. From the super old claymation movies like Rudolph, to The Grinch, to the Peanuts, and beyond. These specials always hold a certain place in my heart. Today though, I want to bring it down just a little bit. I want to discuss a Christmas themed episode that is both heavy and heartwarming. From a show that never really talked down to kids as its main audience, and even doubled down on that aspect with relatively heavy themes for cubs to wrap their heads around. So grab your eggnog and bundle up close near the fireplace, because today we're discussing Arnold's Christmas from the 1996 show Hey Arnold began airing on Nickelodeon in 1996, and this show was wild, y'all. While a lot of shows centering on kids tended to take place in the suburbs, Arnold was a true man of the streets, taking place in the fictional city of Hillwood, Washington. Arnold Shortman, played in the first season by Lane Torren, is an idealistic young boy who's wise beyond his years. Like, way beyond his years. Like, he is a late 20s beatnik in a 9-year-old body. And check out this guy's room. Oh, I always loved this room. I wish I had this room. With his best friend Gerald Johansson, played by Jamil Walker-Smith, and sometimes friend, sometimes enemy, full-time obsessive secret admirer Helga G. Pataki, played by Francesca Marie Smith, these fourth graders navigated their surreal, zany, urban city living. Hey Arnold was an interesting show in the best ways. It told these urban stories with a sense of childlike wonder and fantasy. And I know when I use the word urban, it almost always means people of color, but in this sense, I mean the actual city urban stories. From turning a vacant lot into the neighborhood baseball field to discovering the urban legends like the Sewer King, the Stoop Kid, and Pigeon Man, Hillwood was a true hodgepodge of diversity, giving the ability to tell city stories from many different viewpoints. Arnold was more often than not at the center of these stories, but through a plethora of side characters, we get so many interesting tales. From Rich Rhonda to Brainy Phoebe, Hillbilly Stinky to Old Dusty Oscar. There was never a shortage of viewpoints to pull from, and the Christmas episode decided to use this to great advantage. In this episode, we focus on Mr. Nguyen, a Vietnamese immigrant. Up until this episode, Mr. Nguyen has been a standard background character, not really known for much else than his funny accent. And at this time, funny accents were the card you played when you wanted to show an immigrant. Look at Apu Nahastapima Petalan.
For the next 5 minutes, I'm going to party like it's on sale for $19.99.
The biggest difference, though, was the respect held for each character. Apu, played by Hank Azaria, was the funny Indian 7-Eleven owner, and it wasn't until the later seasons that he actually started to become a character of his own. Mr. Nguyen was an immigrant, had English as a second language, and didn't quite have the same customs that we were used to, but it was never really that defined the character. And with this episode, it was a bold step to center on him. The episode begins in typical fashion. Helga is pining after some hard-to-get boots, Gerald is buying everyone a tie for Christmas, and the tenants at Arnold's apartment are having a secret Santa party. Oscar is being his old, dusty, bummy self, but eventually, everyone gets a secret Santa, and Arnold drew Mr. Nguyen. To figure out what to get him, he strikes up a conversation, and this is when the show gets heavy. Now, Hey Arnold will throw in these curveballs from time to time. The Pigeon Man episode was earlier in this same season. That might be a future episode. Sound off in the comments if you want us to cover the Pigeon Man, or if you have no idea who the Pigeon Man is and need us to cover the Pigeon Man, because you need to know. You need to know. But this backstory of Mr. Nguyen never fails to put my heart in a vice grip. Mr. Nguyen was forced to flee his home country, and while never explicitly stated, the tragedy he had to go through was the end of the Vietnam War. And while other cartoons have spoofed this for comedic purposes, Hey Arnold takes this subject matter seriously. And the voice actor for Mr. Nguyen, Bowen Coleman, had actually lived through this. So he brought a level of realism and reverence that really comes through in the performance. And while trying to flee the country, Mr. Nguyen had no choice but to give up his daughter so that she could escape. He's been living in Hillwood for 20 years searching for his daughter, but to no avail. Guys, this is so sad. Arnold decided that the best gift he could give Mr. Wynn would be to try to find his daughter. Heading down to the government building, Arnold and Gerald find one man who's still working on Christmas Eve, Mr. Bailey. He's grumpy but not unsympathetic. He makes a deal with them that if they could finish his Christmas shopping, he would try to find their missing person. Meanwhile, Helga is trying to find the perfect gift for Arnold, and it's not really with the best intentions. It's coming from a selfish place, not getting him something for him, but rather something that'll make him fall in love with her. But she just can't find the right gift. It's either too superficial or Stinky climbing over the aisle to tell her that Arnold already has it, etc. Meanwhile, we get a little montage of Arnold and Gerald shopping. And can I just say I love the music of Hey Arnold? It's got this jazzy overtone that seems so not kiddie when you think of what most cartoons had for music. The show was always like that, very much a your kid is smarter than you're giving them credit for attitude. Anyways, they're able to find everything on the list except for one, and leave it to the government man for being very particular about the fine print. And since they couldn't find everything on the list, Bailey refuses to look for their missing person. Arnold is distraught over this. He's a believer in that Christmas spirit and really thought he could pull off an impossible task. And his faith in that Christmas spirit is shook. On her end, Helga goes home and is greeted with those same boots that she's been pining for. Look, we all know what Miriam is really drinking with her smoothies. She may be a lush, but she comes through for Helga when it really counts. Most of the time. Helga is out celebrating when she realizes what she could actually do. Keep the things she wanted more than anything, or give them up to help Arnold. She decides to give them to Mr. Bailey and convinces him to work a little while longer, even though it's Christmas Eve. And we get possibly the most tear-jerking scene in the show. Mr. Wynn, reunited with his long-lost daughter. Arnold has no idea how this is possible, but Gerald tells him,
"A miracle's a miracle, and that's all there is to it."
And Arnold finds his spirit again. And standing outside, allowing the miracle to be a miracle, is Helga, silently wishing her crush a Merry Christmas. God, I love this show. It's just so good. I mean, to use their Christmas special episode in the first season, no less, to focus on Mr. Wynn and highlight his past trauma was inspired. And to also show the side of a war that is rarely ever shown outside of an American lens was bold. In an article on NBC News written by Kimmy Yam, link in the description below, show creator Craig Bartlett said the episode idea was the brainchild of late writer Steve Vixton. And when they brought the idea to Bowell in, he mentioned that he actually lived through that. You know what? I was there, he said. And Bartlett said, and I quote, "That made a big difference. I was like, wow, we really have to tell this story. This is going to be so resonant and so cool." And from there, I had the conviction. End quote. Seriously, this is a great article with insight to the episode, and I can't recommend it enough. Bartlett and the rest of the crew who made this show possible took what could have been a run-of-the-mill Christmas episode and decided to make it truly something special. And there we have it. I hope you all enjoyed that look at Arnold's Christmas. Does this episode break your heart like it does mine? Do you have any holiday recommendations for next year? Sound off in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all our content. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Cool Kwanzaa, whatever you choose to celebrate or not celebrate, I wish you all a happy holidays. Until next time.
I hate the snow. I hate the snow. I hate the rain and I hate the sleet. Man, I sure do hate the snow. Feet are froze and my toes are too. Whoa! I hate the snow. I hate the snow.